Moshe Rabbeinu was born, and Bathia, Paro's daughter, took him out of the water, and the baby needed to be fed, but he wouldn't eat. He refused to be fed from an Egyptian woman. So Bathia saw there was a Jewish girl standing there. There was Miriam, actually, and she asked her, would you know a Jewish woman that would be able to breastfeed this little baby? And I will pay for it. So Miriam went to bring her mother, Yocheved, the mother of the baby. Ironically, here's the mother that's getting paid to feed her own child. But that's the idea that this tzaddik was not going to be eating from a non-Jewish woman. So I want to share with you an amazing story about also a little child. But before we do that, we will say some Tehillim, chapter 100, Mizmor LeDavid, Mizmor LeSoy, and a special additional prayer for the hostages, for the entire situation, and for the people in California, as we've been doing the last few days. So chapter 123, Shir Amalis Alechos Ligei Yonim. So a story is told that a middle-aged couple came to the Baal Shem Tov, begging him for blessing to have children. They were childless. And after initial refusal, finally, he gave them a blessing to have a child. And he promised them next year at this time, you will have a little boy. And indeed, the little boy was born. Now you can imagine the happiness of having a child, but more than anything else, this child was an exceptional child. At the age of 1, the child spoke and started learning. I mean, at the age of 2, this kid was like something that totally unusual. But then at his second birthday, tragedy struck. Suddenly, he passed away. Heartbroken, they came back to the Baal Shem Tov. He gave us a blessing. That's worse than a curse. Now that we finally had the pleasure of knowing what it means having a child, and then suddenly the child died. And the Baal Shem Tov said the following. Let me tell you a story. A king, childless, tried everything, and then his advisors told him, make sure that all the people in your community, in your country, pray for you. And especially the Jewish people. They can pray to God. But to make sure that they pray properly, threaten them that if within 3 months your wife does not conceive, they will be expulsed. Now you can imagine the outpouring of prayers from the Jewish community so that she should conceive. And indeed, she conceived. A little boy was born. Exceptional child. They needed a special teacher for him. So they brought a priest that was known to be a brilliant man, a brilliant scholar, to teach this little boy. The deal was, though, that for 2 hours a day, this priest can go into his private chambers and no one, not even the king, is permitted to come and check what's going on there. But this little boy was very curious. Somehow he managed to hide. And then he saw how this teacher of his beloved teacher, is removing all the crosses from the walls and from himself and putting on some boxes on his arm and a white shawl around him. He jumped out from his hiding and he says, what's this? The priest got scared. You can never tell anybody. I won't tell anybody if you promise to tell me what this is all about. Make a long story short, this fellow was Jewish, but had to hide for some reason. And this young man started learning Torah with him. Eventually, they, on the excuse that he's going to Rome to study there, they went to a far country. He never came back to the palace converted and became a great sage and passed away. And the Baal Shem Tov says when this soul came out in heaven, they wanted to give him the royal treatment. There was one problem though, that for 2 years he was conceived by a non-Jewish woman, and he ate. He was breastfed from a non-Jewish woman. And therefore there was a stain on him. So this soul had to come down into the world. And it was your merit to bring finally this soul. I was wondering for so many years, waiting to be able to get its proper reward. You did it. So this is a great blessing. I forgot in the beginning to give tzedakah, so please, my friends, never too late. Let's give some tzedakah now, and let's wish each other Shabbat Shalom.